Hey, what's happening, guys? That's right, I'm running two printers. The one on the right is the Anycubic Cobra Neo, the first one, and the one on the left is its predecessor, the Anycubic Cobra. Not too much of a difference between them, but that's not why we're here. So we're going to get to the design in a minute, but I started out printing, little tchotchkes like everybody else does, just, cute little things. But that was more to learn how the printer itself worked. What I wanted to do was print, functional things. I don't know how functional this is, but this is a sign for the band. The singer made this. He drew it up, and then I vectorized it and made it into a printable STL file, which I will show you guys how to do in this series. This is some sort of spinner dingle that I can't make work, called a finger slinger. Then I have another buddy that makes guitar straps, and he was trying to make these buckles out of this real flimsy soft plastic, and I said, oh, I can make those for you. So I printed them. These are out of PLA. I'm probably going to print them out of something stronger for his final version, but you can see they are very nice. So how I drew all these things, that's why we're here. So let's go over to the computer and let's get started with it. All right, we're going to get started learning a little bit about Onshape and parametric drafting. So if you don't have a free Onshape account yet, just go over to Onshape and sign up for a free account. You have total access to the program. The only real difference that I can see between the free version and the incredibly expensive paid version is your files are public. If you have the paid version, your files are private, but I don't really care. And you can choose to do what you want to do. So once you have signed up, it's going to bring you to this page where you can see things that you've drawn in the past, or you can take the quick start or a self-paced course, or you can create a document. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to create a document, and we're just going to call it sketch. You can call it whatever you want. So this is parametric modeling, which means everything that you draw is going to be defined and constrained by a parameter. If that doesn't make sense to you now, it will in a couple of minutes. If you've ever taken mechanical drafting, this will come to you very quickly, and then when you see how you go from mechanical drawing or mechanical drafting to the 3D world, you're just going to go, oh, like I did. So the first thing here is we're looking at our screen here. And if I click the right mouse button and I move my mouse around, you can see how I'm rotating all of our planes. I can roll the mouse button, the center mouse button, in and out to zoom in and out. I can click and hold the center mouse button to move our drawing around on the screen. Okay. Now we also have this cube up here, which will give us different faces: front view, top view, and we can do the same thing over here somehow. Yeah, view normal too. There you go, to the right. Okay. So now that we are here, we need to draw something. And to draw something, what we need to do, first of all, oh, I hate that clicking. I may have to turn that off. The first thing we have to do is decide how we're looking at this. Are we looking at it top down? Are we looking at it front in? And it really doesn't matter. It's just your frame of reference. So I'm going to say top down is how we're going to look at it. So I can just come over here and click on top, and it sets our top down. So we're looking directly down at our drawing. And this little circle here is the origin point. These are our planes that we saw. And this is our origin point. So everything is referenced from this origin point. Now, you can't just go and draw in 3D. You have to draw in 2D and then make it 3D. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to come up here. This is the first step. You're going to click on Sketch. And what plane are you drawing your sketch on? Remember, we're doing top-down design here. So we're going to click on the top plane. And now you can see over here that it says top plane is our sketch plane. So now we have a wide range of drawing tools up here. We can draw a line. We can draw a selection of rectangles, a selection of circles and ellipses, arcs, polygons, splines, and a point. This point, I think, is one of the most important things we can do, because it gives us a point in space to reference later. We also have text, and we have use and intersection, but those aren't really drawing tools. And this one, the construction, is a very important drawing tool. So let's start off by drawing a rectangle. So we'll come up here and select the rectangle tool, or as you see, you can press G on your keyboard. Now we're going to come over here, and I'm going to start from the origin. One click, and I let go of the button, and I just drag it out to where I want my rectangle to be, and click again. Now you see this box is turned white. It wants me to input a dimension. In this case, we are in millimeters, so let's just call it 70 millimeters. 70, hit enter, and you see it now takes me to the other box. We'll call this one 40 millimeters. So now we have our rectangle, and you notice it went from being blue to black. That means it is constrained. It can only be interpreted from this point in one way, and that is heading to the left for 70 centimeters and going up for 70 millimeters and going up for 40 millimeters. So now that we have our box, we can do different things with it. If, for instance, all we wanted to do was make it thicker, make it 3D, we can just extrude it, but we will get to that in a minute. Let's say we want to add something else to our box. Let's say we want to put a circle in the center of the box. So I've clicked the circle tool, which is also the letter C on the keyboard, and we want to put it in the center of our box. Well, how are we going to know where the center of our box is? Well, if we just take our crosshair and bring it up to any one of these lines and just start moving it across the line, see how a box has appeared over my cursor? That now tells me that this is the center point. And if I move down, over, center point there, center point there, see how it just remembers where the centers are? And now I click once and release the middle or the left button, and I can draw my circle. And let's make it 35 millimeters. So now that circle is in the middle here, and it is black, and you can see that it can't be interpreted in any other way. Now, some things that we can do here are we can add dimensions. I'm going to press the letter D on the keyboard, which lights up our dimension tool here. You see it's put in automatic dimensions for us, but let's say we want to know how far this center point is from the top rail. Well, we really know it's 20, but let's say we wanted to put that dimension in. So if I click the center point and then click the top rail and then just kind of slide over to where I want my reading to be, boom. So we can do the same thing for the other direction. And now we have dimensioned out the circle, which is in the center of our rectangle. Well, let's continue a little bit further. let's say we want to add 2 small circles on a horizontal line from here to here. How are we going to do that? Well, we have our halfway point here, remember? And we can find our halfway point here quite easily. So let's draw a line, but we want this to be a construction line. That's the letter Q. This line is only to help us lay things out, and you will notice that it is dashed. It is a dashed line, telling us it is not a solid object we are drawing. Okay? So now that we have our line, I'm going to take this measurement here, and I'm going to move it out, just because it's going to be in our way if we don't do that. And I'm going to do the same thing with this measurement. I'm just going to move it up here, just like that. So now, remember, we want to put a smaller circle on either side of this line. Well, how are we going to do that? Well, there's a bunch of different ways we can do that. Here's something simple, and I haven't showed you yet, and that's the trim tool here, letter M on your keyboard. If we come in here and cut out this center section of this line here, and now we want to place a point on the center of this line, see how it gives us the halfway point? So we know exactly where those centers are. And now if we come in here and draw a circle, let's say we're going to make this circle 15 millimeters. Well, now that 15 millimeter circle is halfway between here and halfway between here. Now, let's say we want another circle to be exactly the same as it. Well, we can come up here, take another circle, just draw it here like this. And now if we come and I select this circle and this circle, and I come up here to our constraint tools, and I want it to be equal, I'm going to come over here to equal. Uh-oh, look what happened. It says I can't make them equal because you told us this measurement. Well, let's get rid of that measurement. I don't want that measurement. And you see now they are equal, and you can see the different constraints they have on them. Constraints, remember, just allow you to define where something is in space, basically. So let's cut out these lines that we don't need any longer. And let's finish our sketch over here in the I don't know what you'd actually call this, the object folder, I guess. Click the green button. And now you see our sketch is drawn, but if I rotate it around in 3 dimensions, there's still really nothing there. So I'm going to go back to top. And then just for fun, I'm going to select an isometric view for you guys. And we can zoom in. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this tool here, which is the extrude tool. And I'm going to extrude basically everything here. It says how far? Well, 25 millimeters, so about an inch. And then click the green box again. And now we have our solid object, 1 inch thick, 70 millimeters long, what was it, 20 or 30 wide, something like that. So now I'm going to go to the bottom, and I'm going to say, here's our sketch 1. I can't see it. Turn it on so I can see it. Now it shows me sketch 1. And we're going to extrude, once again, this center circle, but not in that direction. See how it's telling us red, that's an error? We're going to click it, the opposite direction button. And now it has come up 1 inch. Are you with me so far? Good. Now let's make holes out of these two. Again, that is an extrude command. What are we going to extrude? This guy and this guy. What direction? That direction, but it's an error. Why is it an error? Because we are adding. It says, see, we don't want to add, we want to remove. So hole equals remove. Make sure we get our directions correct. Click OK. And now we have our shape with holes. All right. Oops, wrong button. So from here, you can go on and do a bunch of other things, but this is as far as I want to take you today. Just how to take a sketch, one simple sketch, which is a rectangle with 3 circles in it. And by doing a couple of different operations to it, we extruded the thickness of the rectangle. Then we extruded a cylinder on top of it. And finally, we extruded, or in this case, I guess we intruded a couple of holes into it. Now, like I said, that is barely sketching the surface of what you can do with this. For instance, let's say we need another part to go with this. Well, we can start another sketch on the top plane, draw another square, you know, and start all over again in a different direction with a different object. So there's so much you can do starting from a simple sketch. So what I would recommend is that you take yourself a simple sketch just like this. I'm going to get rid of these here. They're listed down here as parts. Oh, why not? Okay, there we go. Now I've gotten rid of all my parts. And you see, we just have our sketch. So draw yourself some rectangles, draw yourself some circles or smaller rectangles in them, and then extrude them both inside and outside and get a feel for that. When we do this again next week, we'll come back and we'll talk more about the sketching, the extruding, and then we'll go into fillets and chamfers and making your part just look really nice. All right, guys, I hope you enjoyed this. If you did, give me a thumbs up. Feel free to comment, share, and don't forget to subscribe. Big thanks to all of the patrons. Big thanks to you guys for watching. Big thanks to 3D JLC PCB for sponsoring all this stuff about design, printing, and manufacturing. That's it, guys. I'm out. Peace.